Why aren't you complete already? As seen earlier, your experience of life is fundamentally based on a fabricated social world. Although death eliminates any social context and perceptive experience, while alive, you will continue to attend to the demands of life using both social elements and perceptive faculties. But if you are pursuing a life agenda based on trying to remedy what ails you, your experience will always be burdened by feeling incomplete. Why is that? Remember in the earlier section on being incomplete, we postulated that chasing fulfillment, pursuing ideals, needing meaning, and mistaking not knowing as a malady to resolve all contribute to a sense that something is not right or is missing within your very existence. As it stands at the root bottom, you likely experience yourself as separate, alone, and fundamentally ignorant. This condition in itself is seen as a malady. People long to be connected, whole, knowledgeable, and at one with life and the universe. But their experience inevitably tells a different story. Although these so-called maladies seem inherent or existential, all of them are produced conceptually. Being incomplete is solely conceptually created, and therefore can be eliminated. All the drives and impulses in our lives that are attempting to remedy dissatisfaction or lack are based on what are actually false concepts. Even though they don't seem frivolous, but as essential aspects of life, when we eliminate such concepts, those maladies and drives disappear. What if the pain of feeling incomplete, like something is missing that needs to be found or added, or something is wrong within yourself that needs to be fixed, is not only unnecessary but unreal? Instead, consider it as a myth generated on purpose as sort of a red herring to push self to survive within a social context. This is akin to the analogy of our mouse running on a wheel after unattainable cheese. The social domain creates a self-experience, and this self is required to fit into a social world. But how is this done? Since the whole social domain is an invention made up collectively, no individual inherently knows exactly how to fit in. And for most of us, fitting in is not a small matter. But why is trying to remedy being incomplete a common drive serving self-survival? Since our self-experience stands upon many existential assumptions, as we're beginning to see, we think our very existence is dependent on maintaining and managing these assumptions in order to get through life. Because of existential assumptions that are viewed as negative, such as our very person is isolated, alone, and ignorant, is missing something essential, and perhaps broken, wrong, worthless, or what have you, we think we are incomplete, and this sense of being incomplete drives us to try to attain goals to make us whole and happy and remedy our distress. This dynamic produces a life agenda we think will do just that. Never mind that it hasn't worked so far and never will. This dynamic is quite circular because assessments of our value or wholeness or our sense of separation and isolation, etc., are solely a function of our collectively invented social world. Without this social context, we wouldn't have any assumptions about worth, missing something, or even the possibility of connectedness. We wouldn't compare our self-assessment to some other way of being, or have the notion or need to attain some ideal or standard that we lack. These only exist as imagined possibilities, and they only exist as a result of social values. Therefore, our attempts to remedy what's wrong with us are not only created by our social world, they are how we try to fit in and achieve the self-experience and life we think we are supposed to have. We imagine if this goal is accomplished, it will allow us to finally feel full and happy within our own skins. All of this keeps us working consciously and unconsciously to attain some solution that resolves our existential lack. But this dynamic perpetuates the assumptions upon which it's based. Although such explanations probably seem overly intellectual, this matter usually doesn't show up in our intellect. It shows up in our hearts as a form of pain or suffering that we simply live with, unconsciously driving attempts to make it go away. Even though our efforts fail to complete us, they contribute to our character and how we are known as a person. And this is how we fit in and survive in a social world. So, our specific way of being incomplete and our strategies for resolving that is a large contributor to the characteristics that make us a unique individual. I know this can be hard to follow and to work out. So, let's look at it again in a different way. Your self experience is generated through making the distinction of self and other, thus creating a social context. But there are far, far more others than you. And so this reality is heavily weighted on the side of others. Even though no one is the sole source of creating the agreements, values, and assumptions that make up this world, collectively, whatever view is shared by everyone will have the power of being lived as a reality or at least a convention. This is the reality in which you have to fit in. Whatever ways you attempt to live up to the shared standards and ideals or rebel against them characterizes you as a social person. Noticing that inherently you are not all-knowing or perfect and don't live up to the accepted ideals, you assess you are wrong and broken and try to fix yourself in some way so that you can be what you're supposed to be. Yet, try as you might, your self-experience still seems unfinished. And because you live in a private inner world, you think you're the only one with this problem, even though the truth is, everyone suffers these same challenges. For example, given you live as a self-object, you will always seem to be separate and isolated. That is the nature of being a self-object, because in order to exist, you must be distinct from not you, and that separates the experience of yourself from everything else. Although you share the assumption that this is true, you also see it as a malady because of social values and ideals, and assume you have to correct it, not realizing the malady itself is socially created and shared. For all you know, you may be the only one feeling this way. Even if others share with you that they also have this going on, you still see it as something that needs a solution and conclude it's your fault as an individual when in fact it is a shared social dynamic based on shared human assumptions. Yet even within this separate self-experience, it is possible to be complete. The truth is that if you drop comparing yourself to imagined possibilities not present, you are already complete as you are. That doesn't mean you attain any ideal or experience being something you're not, just that what you experience as your being is a done deal. It is complete as it is and needs nothing else in order to exist. Remember, this is the one that will die. Yet this entire experience of being separate and isolated depends on conclusions and assumptions you make, such as being an inner self object. But you really don't know this to be true because it's not true. You just overlook the fact that you have never found this self object, you just assume it. This whole social self is conceptually constructed, and so it can be eliminated from your sense of being because it is existentially unnecessary, except as needed for participating within the social world. Although this very conceptually created self is going to die, why would you care? In the end, it's just a bunch of concepts. Ultimately, it is not you, and it is not true. Can you entertain the possibility of being complete and fulfilled even if you experience your existence as an isolated event? If you can, does such an imagined experience conflict with your current experience? Regardless of what you assume or don't assume, experience or don't experience, are you complete and happy with your core experience of self and life now? Probably not. So, how can you become complete?